Hey, music community, Jeff here again, and I got to go out this over the weekend. We had the, here for those of us in America, we had the Memorial Day weekend, and so we had a 3-day weekend from work, and I was able to go out. My wife and I were out Monday doing some things, and she's like, "Hey, you want to go to some thrift stores?" I'm like, "Sure." We went to one, wasn't a whole lot there. She's like, "Hey, let's go to the Antique Mall," which is a place in town I've been to and picked up quite a few things because they have a handful of little vendors there that do carry records. Most of it's a lot of same old, same old. Some of it is overpriced. I have picked up some good things there for average prices. And there's one particular store that has the most. They have old stereo equipment and a lot of records, and that's why I have picked up and shown quite a few things there. They have the largest selection because it really is more of the main vinyl record place in the Antique Mall. All the other places have little boxes, people, mom and pops that just happen to be selling them. So I went there, of course, first, flipped through it. I usually go right for the metal section, and then there's so much that's just labeled rock that I don't always get a chance to go through. But today, the wife was wandering around. I'm flipping a little more than usual, and I did find I had myself on a strict budget. I actually was like, unless there's something astronomically exciting, I'm really not going to buy anything because budget is really tight right now. And I'm like, I'm just not going to buy anything. I'm just here to look. But then I did find something, and it was only $5, and that's Brian Hayward. Now, may or may not know much about Brian Hayward. I don't really know a whole lot about him. I just know that this album I had back in the 80s. Me and a lot of my friends had it. And what is this, 80, I want to say, I'm not going to read it in the dark, 82, I believe. So it's, blues rock. Now you'll notice here it says Larry Norman Presents. Now Brian had been around since the 70s putting out music. I'm not exactly sure exactly his story. He's still around. He still does music, blues rock type music. All I know is I had this album, had access to this album by a friend, and then later got it and really enjoyed it. I have the album right now on vinyl that followed this one. I've had that for a few years. But this is the only real one that I ever really grew up listening to from the 80s. And so when I saw this, I'm like, yes. I wanted to get this. It's in great condition. It was only like, $4.99, or it was $5. And here's the thing that's interesting. So the Eric Clapton Band. So it was recorded in England. I don't know the whole story behind it. Brian must have went into the studio with the Eric Clapton Band, and he became, did this vocals and everything there. So Eric Clapton Band with Brian Hayward, I guess, is called The Gap. Great album, just blues rock, with some, spiritually based lyrics, thus the Larry Norman involvement. Was so thrilled to have gotten that. It comes with this lyric sheet insert. And then the British Invasion, this is some solid rock stuff that from the Larry Norman side. So it's on or distributed by Word Records. It is, there's a label that says Word Records, and then there's this label which was a little earlier that doesn't. It's got whatever this, it says, it's got the word logo, Star Song. It's distributed by Word. It's got the Star Song little logo on there, but the other actual one has the actual big Star Song on this thing. On this one, it's just this little red logo there. And then the rest of it looks like, it's a solid rock. It looks more like something that Larry Norman's label would have been involved in, even though it says Chapel Lane Solid Rock. So obviously it was a combination of a lot of people working together. And so I was just excited because I rarely see this album in the wild, and this one was inside. I mean, it doesn't look played. It looks unplayed, and I've listened to it and it sounds unplayed. And so that's the greatest thing. Now then I was pretty much done. There were a couple other albums there in the $5 range, and I thought, well, no, I'm just going to get one. I'm really holding back. There wasn't anything that I had to have. So I left, and I carried that around for a while, and I was flipping through other vendor places, and I found some decent things at another vendor. They had quite a few albums that I probably on another day would have grabbed, but everything was $15 plus and even higher. They had this cool looking Leonard Skinner import I have never seen before. It was more like a best of double record set. They wanted $40 for it, and then on top of that I opened it and it only had one of the two records in it. But I had never seen that, and I thought I would have jumped on something cool like that, weird looking import type thing from years ago. I mean, just years ago. They had a lot of stuff. One place had a lot by a couple bands that I would have gotten, but it was all just stuff that would be nice to have, nothing that I had to have. And everything was 15, 16, 18, 19, $29. I'm just like, no. Then I saw this one thing at that store, that one place, and I'm like, okay, I want to get this. And that's the Rainbow Live album. It was a double record set and it was $8. I thought, okay, it's $4 a record. I could justify that. So I wasn't planning on coming out with anything but the Gap album there, Brian Hayward, but I came out with this. And again, the other thing would have been the quality of it. And when I looked at the albums, they were, I mean, there was like one little fingerprinty looking thing on one of them. But other than that, they were so super shiny. And I listened to them. There's not a pop, crack, or nothing. And from an album in the 70s like this, you can see there's ring wear. The album has been around, but it obviously has not gotten a lot of play because, oh my gosh, it is so very, 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 very good quality. Anyway, Oyster Polydor label. Double record set. I'm like, yeah, Cozy Pal. You got the awesome lineup of Rainbow back in the day. So I said, yeah, I have to do this. So not bad coming out of a antique store, only spending $14. It was I was proud of myself, and got two really great classic albums. There's still a lot of holes in my Rainbow collection, but and then I just wanted to add another one and have another one with the Dio years, even better live, great stuff. So, but that was it. It was just a fun little time out and about. Picked up a few things, and that's it for this one, though. I'll see you later. Rock on and rock hard.